Yeah, on vacation for 10 days. I'm gonna stay home vacation.
Nice, nice. You want me to cover for the class, morning classes, or are you gonna still coming here?
Staycation. I won't be here. My wife would kill me.
Absolutely. I'll cover that. Don't worry. All right, so let's get started.
Thank
I
you.
do have a couple of things playing out in here. Let me share my screen really quick. And since I already seen that you have worked a lot in the morning and made a bunch of money, let me take over just right now. So we're having a wide of possible distribution. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a flat positive bearish continuation, but not quite there yet. Although we are definitely having the flip of the ribbon. We have the last right candle. Remember, this is not exactly the same as the monthly. All right, remember the monthly, that is our DCA, right? On 4 hours, remember we have more fake outs, right? Based on volatility. Nonetheless, let's take a look at what happened last time. So we have earnings and then we bounce up to the dynamic reactor right after, look at that, right after we start having or we stop having those kind of bright candles. The same thing happened here. Right after we have those candles, we bounce up. In this case, we were above dynamic reactor, so we went to find the trend line. All right. So what I'm expecting here, it's going to be something like this. And I know this is not exactly what I want to see. All right. But let me bring up also a couple of other stuff. So this is going to be a little messy. Bear with me here. All right. And there it is. Look at that. We are on a swing entry support, right? So we bounce out of that swing entry support, but also we have a big order block. Yes, it's a soft order block, but also look at what's next in giant next to it. A huge VRVP spike. Not only that, we have it. Let me get my own spaghetti out of the place in here. Look at that. We have a symmetrical triangle here. All right, being formed. It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. I believe that we're going to get the spring. And guys, this area right here, 65,000 to 65,500 is going to be decisive. All right. So yeah, I mean, I would say at this moment, I will be hedging the price of Bitcoin. Why is that? Because based on the Wyckoff, and I do have a poster of Wyckoff right here. I can tell you, not of Vitalik, but I can tell you that for Wyckoff, I would. So, but that guy is fantastic. And he is telling us, all right, that we most likely are going to get a break or acceptance back into the range, come back down, and then a continuation to the top of the range. That's when I believe that, hey, we've been talking about this possibility, right? No free rides for the 70K guys, right? So I believe this is going to be the chance that we might have to get all the way here. Guys, look at the amount of resistance we have above, right? Yes, I know for one hand telling you that I believe that we could get all the way to 50 to 70K. And in the other hand, I'm telling you that we have just such a bunch of resistance. All right. So for one part is the narrative that I believe that they're not gonna let them or they're gonna go liquidate them. All right. And for the other hand, it's the amount of resistance that we have. But also look at that they're soft at the beginning and then they start bunching up at the top. Right. Which means this might be a very shakeout, volatile. Right. All right. So I believe this is going to be taking around 1 week, right? Starting on tomorrow. I believe that this is going to go through the weekend. And then when we start hitting up in here, it's going to be somewhere around Friday, Saturday, Sunday, somewhere around here. Right. I could be wrong. And my breaking point, once again, it's right here. Remember, 500, right? In here to look for a rejection and then for a further move to the downside. So remember, this is where I'm going to be hedging. All right. So I'm going to try to, if we break inside and then come back and then push up, that's going to be my long entry. And if we reject, it's going to be my short entry. Nonetheless, I'll try to make a small hedging here to compensate for whatever slippage I might have in whatever happens on that zone. All right. So that's going to be my plan. This is what I usually do in areas of danger before confirmation because I want to be, or at this moment, I'm looking to front run my indicators. And that is because whatever happens there, if it's a fall, I believe it's going to be, oh, come on, where is my oscillator? Here it is. We already have the flip of the ribbon, right? We have rising money flow right now. It's going positive. It's not there yet on the green. But I believe right there, we are going to be right against the chords, right? Grabbing or making about a possible explosive movement, small explosive movement, to then come back down and reach the top. So this hedge right here is going to compensate for whatever it happens, either if we reject or if we break through, retest. And then, of course, I'm going to be cutting out my losses and adding and feeding my winners, especially if we're going lower. Remember that my next entry, and let me show it to you just so you guys are, in case you guys are not tracking, these are my alerts at 61,300, 49,600, and I have a 243,100 and 30,700. So far, this is what I'm envisioning. I think that we're going up slightly, and then we're going to get into the big boss area. So that's so far what I got on Bitcoin. But let me ask your opinion, Alex. What are you seeing in both the 4 hours and lower time frames, and what would you be expecting for the rest of the week?
Vacation.
Vacation.
Oh man, too funny. All right, let's take a look. Right now, looking for pullback continuation here. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. Warning zone. Will Robinson. Yeah. So breakout retest continuation trade right now. Looking for this thing to come back into this area down below here. I mean, I'm up $1,700 today. Like scalp, jumping long. Off the sweeps in here. So here we go. You need a vacation. Me too, man. I mean, 4 years, 17-hour days adds up, man. It adds up. Ask OC. I have been nonstop forever. I don't know. OC and I are pretty much tied with how much we work. It's crazy. Only because of how much you worked on Black Friday.
Remember last time that Discord gave you, I don't know if it gave it to you. It should have the amount of hours live that you did.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I know. Yeah, I was at the top. What, 5 or 10% of live streamers?
Yeah.
Crazy. You say, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for myself too.
Yeah. That's all right.
I still love it.
He's in love with the money.
I am. Could you maybe restream?
All
I'm
right.
having some issues on the recording. Sorry for asking you that.
Yeah, no
Thank
worries.
you, my friend.
1 second here. And sorry, my thing isn't pulled up properly. Maybe it was my side. And there. Should be good.
Let's go. Yeah. Up and running.
All right, good. Yeah, so overbought coming into key resistance here. Just, higher highs, higher lows, lower highs. That's all we have, right? So, I mean, a pretty good order block retest here. If I get rid of everything here and we rewind price action, right? These are some of the main tools that you should be looking to use in Chart Prime, right? So if you're breaking down here, okay, I love an order block retest. So when we're breaking down, you're looking for areas where price consolidates. That's going to typically create an order block, okay? Chart Prime does a good job at finding these, okay? So you could expect one to be where, right? Just looking at this, right? Where do we expect them to be? We expect one to be here, maybe even this whole area here, right? And then when we turn on our indicators, and depending on the time frame, now time frame is very important. What we want to do with these order blocks is we want to sieve the information as best as possible, meaning condense it, right? That's going to be critical. Oh, this doesn't want to work, really. Update. Okay. Update. Uh-oh. It's going crazy, guys. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so you're going to see you have order blocks in here. Where did we come to, right? where do we come to? We come into these areas. You can think of order blocks as magnetic, right? So when we push into them, you get a rejection, and then you push into it, and you get a rejection, and you push into it, and you get a rejection. Now let's press play and see what happens, right? You can see we've pushed up, but if we go into this, right? So we're looking here, here, and here, okay? And if we go on the short-term time frame, like a 3-minute, which I like to trade, right? We can see we get a rejection, we get a rejection, we get a rejection, okay? And it works in the opposite way. So right now, where are we at, right? It's bad, in my opinion. You can see the SPY rolling over this morning. Bro, the best fake out in all I've ever seen on the SPY. Look at this. So you have massive dump yesterday, head and shoulders, fake out SFP in the morning, and then Valhalla. Look at that. They liquidated so many people. I guarantee you look at how aggressive this move was. They closed the candle below. They retested the candle. Okay, so everybody's breakout, retest, and then Giga Chad super long.
Holy shit.
This is
Not only
so
that, if
mean.
you had switched it at the end of that candle, it still came for you. Like
Right?
if you round trip it, yeah.
Look at how mean that is. Nasty, man. Everybody's looking for this breakdown, retest, continuation trade, head and shoulders, and they sent it up so fast, bro. They wrecked so much. I guarantee you, they wrecked so many people there. But that's happens, right? So when did this happen? This happened at 9:30. We go over to Bitcoin. What happened at Bitcoin at 9:30? Same shit. But 9:30. This is actually 9:37. This one bouncing 9:36. So it's exactly the same here. But it's a beautiful move nonetheless to show us the bias of the day, right? I'm always looking for the bias of the day. So I took a short scalp here. I took a scalp long. I took a scalp long, and then I jumped in on the breakout retest continuation here. Okay, and I'm up big today. So a beautiful day for me. Now what are we looking at? Well, I told you guys yesterday, if we're not going to hold 67, then we're going to 62, 63. And I gave you guys the big box down here. So where are we at? We're at 62, 63, right? We've lost this level, right? So now we got a lot of work to do, okay? A lot of work to do. Sending price down, right? The concern right now is we have dead cat bounce is another one, right? Liquidity of the lows, right? Now, the biggest problem is we have this retest in here. This is going to be the big issue, is that right in here with our major resistance level, now we have a major support and resistance flip area. Like OC said, look at all the things in our way, right? Lots of resistance. But in my opinion, there's macro support down here, okay? Trying to hold us up. If we lose this, it gets really ugly. It goes down to like 50 something. Let's take a look. I'll show you. Yeah. All right. So my level is that we come down, we lose the point of control. Right? So if we treat this like a range, let me get rid of this here, and I'll just show you. You go from here. Let me go from here to here. I'll take off extend right. Okay. So if we come to the bottom of the range, which would be right here, 55, okay? I would expect this to be the area where we consolidate, and then we sweep into 47. 47 is my super buy level. Okay? But if we come into here, we have two stops. If we drop down here, two stops. And it would be ugly. Okay. However, bottoms take time, like we talked about, right? So we're rolling over right now. We could get a hopium rally, guys. We could come for 72, like we've been talking about here, and then we come down. These take months. Tops take days. Bottoms take months. Understand that, right? At least weeks, right? If you look at any of these lows, right? This is February 21st to what? April 21st. This is 2 months, right? I mean, this fucking 7 months, right? This June to January, 6 months, 7 months. Even here, December to March. Top 1 day, top 1 day, top 1 day. Okay, so understand that idea. So if we're going to get, even if we're going to get bottom relief rally and dump, this will take time. Just like this one, just like this one, just like this one, just like this one, and 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 this one. All right, it's all relative. However, if we lose here, we are coming to 56. So I would expect a sweep like this. So if we look at just general candle pattern here, right? And something along those lines, right? This might be a little bit lower into that 47. 47 is like my secret buy level. It's not that secret now that I've told you, but it's this order block here. It's this guy right in here. There's this. It's my little spot that I'm looking for. Everybody's looking at 30. When everybody and their brother and sister are looking at 37, they're not going to give it to them. Okay? I've heard 30, 35, 37 so many times. It's ridiculous. So why would they give them their limit order buys, right? I have limit orders at 47. Big plans. But we'll see. So that's the idea. Locally right now, it's got work to do, right? So we have downtrending momentum. We have a break, which is good. So what do I mean by that? We go into 1 hour. Nothing's better than a decent trend line, right? So where's our trend line? We got orb breakout. Oh, look at that, right? So we have the break here. Can we hold, right? Breakout, retest, continuation. 12-minute. Pretty good. I'm surprised OC isn't gig along right here. It's because he saw that I was looking lower. That's why. But it was a good tap into this area. But we're looking to come and get liquidity. So order block tap, liquidity tap here. In order for me to really flip bullish, we need to take this high out. We need a break here, which is 65,000. We need a 1 hour candle close above here, right? I want to see that. That is a must. Otherwise, we look for continuation down. This is the start of a bottoming structure, but this is the start of a balloon dog, in my opinion, right? You got your balloon dog here, right? So this could take its damn time, right? Right now, it looks like one of those naked Mexican dogs right now. They're ugly as fuck.
They are.
Oh, man. So the plan right now, looking for rotation up, looking to break the high. Possible lows are in for Solana. Pink box lows. This is critical support level for Solana as well. Okay, so for me, I trade mostly Bitcoin and Solana, but you can see pink box here. I said last night to my community that the low's probably in for Solana. Why? If we go low to high here, golden pocket tap, 786 pink box, right? So if it's going to hold, this is where we're looking for it, right? It's actually swept this liquidity, right? Double bottom, rotation up. And like I said before, we need to see structure change, which is all the way up here. Okay. We got a beautiful stiletto pattern throughout. You typically get those on Solana bottoms. You can see here. So we'll see if that wants to spring out of here. Right now, I mean, look at the exhaustion down here. Do you know why? Because there's no support for Solana until about $57. Look at how bad this chart looks. All right, this is the most bearish, potentially bearish chart in all of crypto. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see the beautiful, beautiful head and shoulder pattern here, right? And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that there is almost none support in here. Okay? Even if we go on a Bitstamp chart. Does that have more information? No, it doesn't. Right? Where's our support? Right here, 57. And it's small. And here, 40, 30, 25. So this could get really nasty, really fast, just like that dog. Right? And if you take
That dog
measured
is
moves,
supposed to be
right?
looking like this, theoretically. But they never come out that good.
Measured moves, $25. Nasty. So Solana's got a hold here, is what I'm saying. Otherwise, bye-bye, right? Even if you look at this, right? It's got to reclaim 93. 93 is so important. 90, 93. I'm a buyer all the way down, though. But be prepared. Donald Trump just needs to go and blow some shit up, right? So be aware. Very volatile, very sketchy here. So looking for rotation, possibly back up. Consolidation in here. Okay. We'll see. I'm looking here. I don't like the imbalance down here, so I think we could possibly come back down into here and orb retest liquidity, looking for potentially this, depending on if the SPY wants to continue up or if it wants to top and the NASDAQ. And that's where I'm at.
Absolutely. I want to bring up something
Bold
that
enough.
I just saw today. And I've been talking about this for a long time. If you guys remember, I was talking about the price of gold and also how the stock markets and what have we been seeing on the United States under Trump administration, where he wants to make a quote unquote weaker dollar. And that is to put money in the American people pockets. Not only that, to also make a stronger manufacturing fortress, if that makes sense. All right. If it doesn't make sense, somebody that I really like how he makes his videos and stuff has just actually explained it in a very simple manner. It's very entertaining. Let me send it to you right here really quickly. All right. And this is it. So basically, what I've been looking at, which is not a secret, most of us know about this strategy because it's at all sides. So what happens? You have two worlds, all right? And this is just a preamble. We're going to be taking a look at both gold and SEC, all right, in a second. But the point in this is that, hey, you have two worlds, either stock world, but what does that mean? That the American people don't have money on their pocket. They need to buy stocks to make money out of them, right? Or manufacturing, labor. American people have money on their pockets, but they need a cheap manufacturing to be competitive out there. First of all, remember what happened with China. China, very cheap manufacturing. What happened? Everybody was overseeing or sending their plans for them to build. What did they do? They reverse engineer everything. And now they possess the knowledge, the how to, and the manufacturing skills and tools. So basically, they have a monopoly for fabricate every freaking thing except chips for now. All right. So what's going on now? I think it's not that I would say not Donald Trump itself has seen this. He could have gone one of those two routes. All right. And I think he chose the securest one, which is, hey, yes, The dollar is getting weaker, but that's also he's putting pressure, he's weaponizing the tariff, all right, and bringing the manufacturing back in here, not only to be able to produce, sell, be competitive, but also, and here's the other side of the coin, right, to pump gold up, right? It's not that he himself is pumping it up, but he's creating all of this uncertainty in the markets, right? And what happens when there's uncertainty? Gold pumps, all right? So in case you're watching this on the YouTube, let me just share really quickly. I'm not going to be playing this video for you because of copyright things, but the very interesting part starts somewhere around the minute 12. All right, so I don't know if I'm sharing. All right, can you guys see?
It's loading.
It's loading. Let's see. Yeah, Discord has been a little slow today. All right, so this is it. It's about Andre Jaking or Jiking. Jick. I don't know how to pronounce that. Jick.
Jick.
Thank you. Andrew Jick. He's a very nice analyst. I really love his content. If you see, go ahead and watch his content. He's done a fantastic, phenomenal explanation on what I've been also talking about, right? Again, this is not my idea. It's something that happens in everybody that's looking at the global pieces as a chessboard, right? Kind of like knows where this thing is coming from and where we are heading to, all right? I'm just going to play just a little bit and let me know if you guys can hear it.
To basically recollateralize or buy down, effectively buy down your debt so that you have low debt levels. Then you can make more dramatic changes to the economic system and its connections without running the risk of blowing up the financial system, right?
That doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow, but it's a possibility that something like that could happen in the future. Now,
long story short, what he's talking about is that, all right, through some tools, let's call them like that, tools, it's not that artificially, but you know how gold works. So you make price of gold go higher, and then you reevaluate gold. Therefore, you have more money without creating more money, right? Because you have more gold, you can reevaluate gold at the current price and then pay your debt. Guess what happened a couple of months ago? Revaluation of gold. Do you guys remember that? So paying fair price of gold. And what can we see right now? Well, by the way, this is sec. I don't want to lose this out of my sight. It's breaking through. I believe that we could be going to 256. All right. And what's going on with gold? We keep pumping, right? And we've been looking at this. I was expecting actually this, some of a drop down to this good area of liquidity somewhere about 4,600. We didn't. We actually held right on the dynamic reactor and quantum reactor. All right. Let me get my spaghetti out of here. All right. So you can see it. And let me also zoom out a little bit. So right now we're trying to break out a rising triangle. We're not there yet. We have a heartbeat differential here. All right. And what happens is that this creates a shock. All right. So this was like an artificial, quote unquote, artificial, therefore needs balance back up. And then we are getting back that slow upwards curve. Look at where we are having that support in a huge ranging zone. Not only that, getting very close to the mother's milk center of that swing pattern. All right. So just keep your eyes open for a possible entry on gold. All right. So I would actually be looking at gold more closely. And just so you know, here in the family, we hold digital gold. All right. And we've been doing fantastic with gold. I've been trying to share with you guys when we enter, when we sell, when we re-enter, and then just remind you, this is one of my special boxes, right? Right there. So long story short, keep your eyes open for gold. I think they have more to give, but also if it comes back down, will be a good opportunity to re-enter. So let's go back to SEC, because also just talking about high risk things, right? We have a trend line breakout. Is it already consolidated? No. Could this be a rejection point? Yes, it still could be. All right. But I believe by the way that things are moving, that we might be able to cross over that zero line, make the fake out, or at least get over to the swing entry somewhere around there. All right, so somewhere even around here, and then come back down, and then we'll see what happens, right? If we create a higher low, we're good for another long. And if we don't create that higher low and then we create a lower low, we still need to wait for a lower high. If we create a lower high, then we're in for the short. All right, so keep your eyes open in SEC. I think something might be coming or might be cooking at this moment and could be worth trading this, because we're talking about, I mean, SEC has been just underperforming a lot. And at these areas of market cap, we're talking about a best case scenario, all right, 27% move. Sorry, my bad. 11.8 move. At a 10x, something not really crazy, we're talking about 113% movements, all right? Also, remember, that could be to the wrong side. If you don't use a stop loss, you could be losing a 111% on your entry, all right? Which is liquidation on that position. And we don't get liquidated because we use a stop loss. So keep that in mind. And also, if we just are careful enough and then we look for that lower high, we could be aiming, again, case scenario 13%, so 135, or even 222% to the downside, considering a 10x leverage, best case scenario. All right. Remember that this still, you need to apply slippage or fees. And if you take partial profits, it diminishes those entries. But 200 and something is not too shabby. All right. So keep your eyes open for Zcash. Remember, this also is going to be dumping if Bitcoin dumps. So use a stop loss. Another one that I was looking at that keep me like on the edge. So I showed this on Hackers. So I also forgot about I think sending this to you. I don't know if I show it to you, Alex, but look at that. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it, right? So that was a fantastic,
corrupted everybody.
Oh yeah. Look at that. That played out very, very nice. I was actually looking for a little bit of lower target, but it just blew up to the quantum reactor right there. We have a reversal signal. We have a buy max profiting here, right? And then have a pretty big substantial drop down. We're getting back to some support areas. This chunk was much higher. If you guys can see it, this is my original drawing. So it was much higher. At this moment, it is way lower still. We can still go for a possible smart money entry, all right? Something like a swing failure pattern, break out of the trend line. We have almost the same setup that we have on SEC, all right? But this is way much more volatile. So what's going to be the plan? Let me clear this up, all right? Let me go over here and turn everything down or off. So we have the quantum reactor, and we are stick to that quantum reactor. Two things can happen, and you don't need to be a genius, either up or down, right? So we're going to let the market decide. So far, we are bearish, but with a taste of bullishness. So we need for the market to decide. So this is basically canceling one another. So what's going to be my entry point? Look at this trend line that we got, all right? Breakout. It's going to ring my trend line. I will decide if I short or not. I don't think I'm going to be shorting that. Retest. Maybe 1, 2, 3 candle. And I'm going to be looking for another FOMO rally. Not that big. All right. Why? Because once we have one FOMO rally, the next one is smaller. Once we have a FOMO rally, the next one might be smaller. Still a pretty good opportunity. Again, best case scenario. And let's bring now the indicator so we can see targets. There we go. Order blocks, reversal areas, right? At somewhere around, let me just push this to the right. 21% at a 10x. That will be 218. Again, guys, this is not meant. Oh, it's already time. This is not meant to be giving you FOMO. Longing the bear market could be a mistake. So if you're doing it, remember, this is under your own risk, and you need to manage your risk. First, use a stop loss, not go all in, right? And also manage your leverage and use maybe half of a position or something along those lines. So that's all that I have for today. Alex, do you have anything else before you go on vacations, my friend?
Trade safe, be safe. I'll see you guys at 47,000.
Let's get it. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Alex, thank you so much for the masterclass, and we're going to miss you. And as always, see you guys tomorrow.